Good morning, class. I hope all of you are doing fine. Today we are going to study a poem from the book Honeydew. The name of the poem is The Last Bargain, which is written by Rabindranath Tagore. So, firstly, before starting with the poem, let me go through the writer. Let me tell you briefly about the writer. Rabindranath Tagore, Rabindranath Tagore was born on 7th May 1861. Okay, he was born on 7th May 1861 and died on 7th August 1941. He was from Calcutta, that is in India, and he was also a Bengali poet. He was also a Bengali poet. He was also a writer, composer, social reformer, and a painter. So, now this poem, The Last Bargain. Firstly, tell me what the bargain is. I think we all know that bargain is an agreement between two persons, as to what they have to offer to each other, or you can say bargain is an agreement between two or more people as to what each will do for the other. So it's the bargain. For example, we all have our mothers to see the live example of bargain. When we go to shopping, do shopping with our mothers, we have always seen that she has this hidden talent to bargain to the shopkeepers, vendors about things, that no, this much is so much, this is so expensive, give me at this price. So both do conversation and come to an end that okay, I will give you at this amount, and the mother would say no, this is the amount and it's final. If you want to give it, otherwise I am leaving. So what this conversation is all about, they both are doing a bargain. They are coming to an agreement that I will pay you this and you give me this product. So it is a mutual agreement. Am I clear? So this poem, The Last Bargain, is a poem describing the story of a man who is looking for a job. So, before starting with the poem, let me read out the first paragraph. A bargain is an agreement which both parties promise to do something for each other. Like I have explained, bargain is an agreement between two parties. Promise to do something for each other as to what each of them have to offer. Someone is looking for work waiting to be hired. He strikes a bargain but thinks it worthless. So here, this someone is the speaker of the poet, and this someone is looking for a job, waiting to be hired. He strikes a bargain. Uh, he gets many bargain, but he gets many offers for this job, but he rejects them. He thinks that it's worthless. He tries twice again, but doesn't like either. He rejects multiple offers, multiple bargains that he is being offered, and he thinks that these bargains which is being offered to me are worthless. They are not satisfactory. Finally, in the last bargain, when he is hired for nothing, whatever he is happy as never before. What is the bargain and why is it the best? So, at the last, finally, this speaker accepts the offer, accepts the bargain, and he is hired for nothing. He is happy as never before. So, while we are reading this poem, we will get to know what offers, what bargain were given to him that he rejects, and what was the final offer that he was offered, which he accepted, and now he is happy as never before. Okay? Now, let's begin with the poem. Come and hire me, I cried, while in the morning I was walking on the stone paved road. So, here I is the speaker. He is crying and shouting, come and hire me. He is asking people, he is shouting to people that whoever needs me, hire me for the job. While in the morning, I was walking on the stone paved road. And at what time he is doing this? In the morning. In the morning, while walking on a stone paved road, what does a stone paved road means? A stone paved road. So, stone paved road means stone covered roads. Means these roads are made of stones. They are not of concrete. They are not made of concrete. They are roads made of stones. Okay. So, in the morning while walking on this road which are made of stones, he is crying and shouting that please hire me, whoever is in need. Okay. So, sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. So, suddenly, what happens? A king comes. Suddenly, a king comes, and from how is coming? He is coming in his chariot. So, how he is coming? He is coming in his chariot. Suddenly, a king comes in his chariot. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. So, firstly, what happens? He is walking on the stone road in the morning and shouting and asking for people to hire him. Then, suddenly, a king comes holding a sword in his hand. And how does he come? While in his chariot. He is coming in his chariot while holding a sword in his hand. Now what is chariot? Chariot is two-wheeled vehicle. Chariot is two-wheeled vehicle drawn by horses. Okay. So he is sitting in his chariot and comes to him while holding a sword, means talwar, in his hand. But his and he says, he held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. Now the king holds the hand of the speaker and says that I will hire you with my power. As he is the king, so king, what does king have? King has the power. So he says that I will, if you work under me, I will hire you with my power. So king is trying to do a bargain with the speaker. He is saying that if you work for me, I will give you my support, my power. But his power counted for naught. He went away in his chariot. Not means nothing. So, not means nothing. But his power counted for naught and he went away in his chariot. Means, what happens? The king holds the hand of the speaker and offers him that I will give you my support, I will give you my power, and I want to hire you. But what happens? The speaker thinks that the power of the king counted nothing for the speaker. The speaker doesn't feel that this power is worthy enough. He doesn't feel that it is important. So he rejects the offer of the king and he went away in his chariot. When he rejects the offer of the king returns back in his chariot and leaves. Okay. In this poem, in this first stanza, an offer and bargain is made by the king to the speaker that he will provide him the power, the support if he accepts his bargain. But the speaker doesn't feel that this power counts anything. He feels that this power is nothing, it doesn't hold important, and he rejects his bargain, and lastly the king leaves in his chariot. Okay. Now the second stanza. In the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. I wandered along the crooked lane. An old man came out with his bag of gold. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. He weighed his coins one by one and I turned away. So, in this second paragraph, firstly, in first paragraph, it was morning time. Okay, it was morning time. And now it's heat of the midday. It means it's the afternoon. It's the afternoon and sun is shining at its maximum. There is so much heat that all the houses stood with shut doors. That all the people are staying inside their houses all the people are staying in their houses and have shut their door and windows. No one is wandering around the roads. No one is walking around the road. I wandered along the crooked lane. So, firstly, it was morning time. Now it's afternoon. The speaker is wandering, means walking around on the crooked lanes, on the crooked lanes The speaker is walking around the crooked lanes. Crooked lanes means bend lanes, uneven roads. These are not straight, these are bent. सड़कों पे, रोड पे गड्ढे पड़े, they are pits. टूटी फूटी रोड है. So he is walking on these crooked roads in the afternoon time, and he is looking for the job. He is shouting for the job that please hire me, please someone hire me. And suddenly an old man came out with his bag of gold. Like the king, in the second paragraph also, an old man suddenly comes out with his bag of gold. An old man comes and he is carrying a bag of gold. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. Now this old man suddenly comes and says that I will hire you with my money. What does pondered means? Pondered means think. So here this old man thinks and says that I will hire you with my money. Wealth, money here means wealth. Okay, he says that I will hire you with my wealth. But what happens? As usual, he weighs his coins one by one, but I turned away. This old man, while offering the money, while trying to bargain with the speaker, trying to hire him for the job and convincing him, trying to bargain him that I will hire you with my money if you work for me. He is saying that and also starts to count his money one by one. He weighs his money one by one, but I turned away. So the old man offers him this bargain, and while doing so, he starts to count the coins, count his coins one by one. And by seeing this, the speaker turns this offer. He rejects this bargain because once again he thinks that money doesn't hold that much power. He doesn't want money. This money doesn't provide him the satisfaction he is looking for. Okay? Now, the third paragraph. In the evening, the garden hedge was all flower. The fair maid came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. So, garden hedge, firstly, hedge means, what does hedge mean? Fence or boundaries. Okay. Hedge means fence or boundaries. Boundaries or fence that is made of leaves, that is made of leaves. And so what happens? In the evening, the garden hedge was all aflower. The fair maid came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone in the dark. So here in this stanza, what happens? Earlier it was daytime, then it's afternoon, and now in this third paragraph it's the evening, and the speaker is walking around in this beautiful park where he suddenly meets a fair maid, that is he meets a lady and said, I will hire you with her smile. This lady says to the speaker that I will hire you with a smile. Smile here is the beauty. Smile denotes the beauty. So here a bargain is done between. Smile here denotes beauty. Okay, and this lady is trying to bargain with the speaker that if you join me, if you accept this job, then I will hire you, that I will give you the smile, that is the beauty. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone into the dark. So, with this line, we get to know that the speaker once again rejects this bargain. He rejects the bargain with the king, an old man, and now this fair maid, this lady. He rejects three bargains. All because he thinks that these bargains are not important enough. They are not worth it. They are not worth. He feels these all bargains are worthless. So what happens? Her smile paled and melted into tears. She went back alone into the dark. So when he rejects the offer of this lady, because the speaker feels that this beauty is temporary, it would always give a temporary satisfaction. That's why the speaker rejects this bargain, rejects this offer, and the smile of the lady paled and melted into tears. The lady who was smiling, was all beautiful, becomes sad and leaves the speaker crying and went back into the dark. Dark here represents two things. Firstly, it's the evening time, so she goes away into the dark. She goes far away. And dark also represents that the day is coming to an end. Earlier it was morning, then afternoon, now the evening. So all the hopes of getting a job, of getting a satisfactory bargain is coming to an end. All hopes are finished. There are total 3 bargains, and as the evening is coming to end, hopes are finished. Hopes are finished. Hopes are coming to an end. Okay. So she leaves the speaker and goes away. Now what happens in this last stanza? The sun glistened on the sand and the sea waves broke waywardly. A child sat playing with shells. He raised his head and seemed to know seemed to know me and said, I hire you with nothing. From henceforward that bargain stuck in child's play made me a free man. Okay, so the sun glistened. Glisten here means shine. The, the sun is shining. The sun is shining on the sand. Glisten. Glisten means shining. The sun is shining on the sand and the sea waves broke waywardly. Waywardly means willfully. Okay. Waywardly means willfully. Waywardly means willfully. So, the sun is shining on the sand and sea waves broke waywardly. So, this scene, earlier it was morning, afternoon, evening. Now, this particular paragraph is set on the beach, where when the sun rays are falling on the sand, these sands are shining and the sea waves broke waywardly. The sea waves are moving so willfully that it feels that waves are free. Waves are free to move in whatever way they want. Waywardly means willfully. It's talking about the freedom that the sea waves are following. Sea waves broke waywardly. They are moving freely. Like they can do whatever they want. They can move in whatever direction they want. There is no foundation. A child sat playing with shells. Here on this beach, a small child is playing with shells. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I will hire you with nothing. Here what happens? A child is playing on the sand and he looks at the speaker in such a way that speaker feels that I know him from somewhere. Means the child looks at the speaker. So here what happens? The child looks at the speaker in such a manner that the speaker feels that he knows this innocent child from somewhere, and he starts to play with this child. But what does this child does? He says that I hire you with nothing. He says that I have nothing to offer you for the labor which you would be doing. And with this the speaker gets to know this is the bargain he was looking for, because with playing with the child, he is not losing his freedom. Whether it was power, whether it was money, or whether it was beauty, all these were the materialistic things. And what the utmost thing a human desire is? Freedom. So with this, the speaker gets to know that he ultimately desires the freedom. From henceforth that bargain stuck in child's play made me a free man. So, hereforth means thereafter. So, by this, the speaker is saying that while playing with the child, he gets to know that he would not face any compromise, he would not face any compromise while playing with this child. He would become a free man. What he ultimately desires is the freedom. And all these are just materialistic things. Money, power, beauty, all are the materialistic things. And with this, he approves, he accepts the last bargain that is of nothingness. That is of nothingness. What he desires was the freedom. He wanted to become a free man. Okay. So, with this, we have come to an end of this poem. I will take next part in the next video, in which we would be discussing about the summary rhyming schemes and exercises, word meanings and all. Okay. Till then, bye. Take care.